I have 47 shirts. I have 34 pairs of slacks, 22 blazers, 17 suits. For years now, everywhere I've lived, I've had a spare room that I had to turn into a closet because the closets themselves could never hold my clothes. Oh, I cleaned up for the show tonight, but take my word for it, it's not about fashion. Some of my shirts are colorful, patterned, but the slacks tend to solid blacks, browns, blues, grays. The blazers tiptoe occasionally into purple or green, but the suits retrench in somber tones suitable for any federal government office or funeral home. The first time someone mentioned the word hoarding, it was slipped into a suggestion meant, as they are, to be helpful. Why don't you use your free time to go through these clothes you're hoarding and get rid of the ones you don't need? I think about writing a dictionary of depression. It would be the size of a sticky note, so that maybe when people held it in their hands, they could grasp how depression guts words of meaning, leaving nothing but noise. Why don't you use your free time? I wake up in the morning wondering what depression has planned for us today. I go to sleep at night wondering what depression has planned for us tomorrow. In between, I assess my depression. Then I assess my assessment of my depression, wondering if my assessment of my depression is accurate. Because if my assessment of my depression is not accurate, how do I know whether what I'm doing about my depression is working? And if what I'm doing about my depression is not working, what should I do about it? Because if what I'm doing is working, and I stop doing it, how will I know it has stopped working without knowing whether my assessment of my depression is accurate? Why don't you use your free time? The diagnosis of hoarding has been challenging for some people who diagnose me because what they know about hoarding, they learned from reality TV. And my reality does not follow that script. All of my clothes are on hangers. All of the hangers are white. All of the clothes face the same direction. All of the clothes are in order. Okay? For example, the shirts. Collarless and sleeveless, collarless and short-sleeved, collarless and long-sleeved. Come on, collared and sleeveless, collared and short-sleeved, collared and long-sleeved. Within each of those categories, of course, shirts are hung in Roy G. Biv order. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. There are no stacks of mildewed newspapers in my closet. There are no corpses of missing pets. And yet, despite obvious differences between my life and TV, and no one has retracted their diagnosis of hoarding. Instead, they have topped off that diagnosis with the one diagnosis which is always on tap: OCD. Or to use the correct medical term, a little OCD. A little OCD is what people diagnose when you do the same thing they do, but you do it more than they do it. And therefore, you do it too much. When I'm told I'm hoarding and have OCD, I respond with some good news. Because I've already been prescribed all of the treatment that is available for hoarding and OCD, if it turns out I have those disorders, I could already be cured. That's what I tell them. Yeah, that's what I tell them, except not out loud. Out loud, I say nothing, but instead give listening face. Listening face will be included in a special video edition of the Dictionary of Depression, offering step-by-step illustrations on the nonverbal communications tools. You don't act depressed. Listening face. No one is happy all the time. Listening face. Let me tell you what I do when I get the blues. Listening face. For me, listening face is the gift that I give. My gift of letting other people play doctor on the field of their Freudian dreams. I lob symptom softballs and let them take swings until dark. I never embarrass them by stepping up to the plate and showing them how the game is played under the bright lights. My major depressive cycles last between 1 and 2 years. At the bottom of each cycle is the dangerous part that lasts a few months. I plan for those months. I plan the way other people plan for a long trip. Depression and I are going on the road. When depression and I go on the road, I text when I can, call if I have to, but the service is iffy. And to make myself heard from such a great distance takes more air than my lungs will hold. Around me, dust and disuse shrouds every surface. You don't polish the furniture when you're on the road. Mail comes through the slot, piles up on the floor until it is snow plowed against the wall by the door. What if it's something important? Important? I don't answer the phone. You keep both hands on the wheel when you're on the road. I eat out, mostly off-ramp drive-through. You don't shop for groceries or fix meals when you're on the road. There's one other thing you don't do when you're on the road. You don't do laundry. I come home, drop my clothes on the floor, lie down, and let the road rise up to meet me. Depression, riding shotgun by my side. Maybe it rains. Maybe the mud gets so deep my wheels spin. Maybe dust fills my eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Maybe the snow falls wet and heavy as a straitjacket. But in the morning, I wake up, walk into my spare room and find, in Roy G. Biv order and suitable for any occasion, 47 shirts, 34 pairs of slacks, 22 blazers, and 17 suits. You can go a few months without answering emails or texts. You can go a few months without cooking or cleaning. But you still have to wear clothes. Depression and I are going on the road. But we've traveled together before, and I've learned to do the math, and I will always have enough clothes to last the trip.